Hi, friends.
Hello, everyone. As soon as I get the line, I can.
Oh my god.
There it
First
is.
fucking rodeo here.
It is our first rodeo. Oh, I have the
Oh
volume.
my god.
Well, don't forget this was our sound machine. Such a rookie. What's up, everybody?
Anyone want him? Shannon, I know you don't.
Well, how's everyone doing this week? How's your week?
A lot of new beginnings.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
So can we ask what the new beginnings are?
Oh, well, I went to therapy
Oh.
and I went to the gym. I don't know who Jim is, but... What about you? How's your week?
I should be going to therapy, and I think if I walked into a gym, they'd probably laugh at me.
Same.
They're like the Chinese places down the...
Nice. Next building
The
over.
McDonald's is the next one down. I'd be like, oh, okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks, boss.
Oh my god, speaking of that, somebody walked into the salon yesterday. It's like, oh, I thought this was the restaurant.
The salon? That doesn't even look like the restaurant. You're talking about... Yeah,
Because we have Mindy's right next door.
what?
Like, oh, I thought this was the restaurant. I'm like, no, we don't really serve food here. Try next door. But it's like 9 in the morning. Like, who wants trying? They're not even open in the morning.
Oh, they're not breakfast food like the other place? Well, Redney's used to be, right?
Redney's? Reedy's?
Reedy's? What is it? I forgot what it was. I've only been there twice.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry.
You didn't miss anything. Look at those sexy legs.
Oh, you like those? Hold on. Let me give you a little something. I know.
Yeah, he's got a little
It's
shorts
always this
on.
way. It's always, I'm going too high up in the sky, so it's all ceiling or it's our legs. But we can't
But we got both in this one.
And the worst thing is, like, we can't get
I feel
wide
like we
enough.
could've-
We can't get wide enough.
I can't. I don't want to. I'm going to sleep that right there.
Nice cock.
Oh, no.
So, we got new sound effects, which we have way too many buttons.
And he's going to push all of them. So.
Yeah, I might. And some of them are really long. Like, you know what the worst thing about these new sound effects? Is some of them are funny, but they go too far.
Yeah, just a little bit too long.
But that's what makes it funny for me.
Yeah.
So it's always like, oh, I still can't talk. Like, I was sitting there in
10 hours later. Isn't that one of them?
No, that's not. No.
Oh,
it's not
come
this one.
on.
We had to lose some. But there's no more 10 hours later. So
Much later that the old narrator died and they had to get a new one. Did you hear that one?
No, what?
In one of the SpongeBob episodes, like, it was so long because it kept saying, like, 10 minutes later, 10 years later, like, kept going and on. Like, so much later that they had to get a new narrator because the other one died.
All right, so our topic today is Soul, which is a Pixar movie.
Can't leave you out.
Oh,
Thank you. I had leg day today, so that's a good compliment.
she's actually flexing right now. You just don't know.
Right.
So we watched Soul. I'm going to let you go first. I know we keep saying we're going to talk, but then I'll end up doing too much talking. So,
You're good at that.
that's all I'm good at.
What do you want me to talk about? Like what I thought of the movie? Or
Yeah,
like...
no, I want you to,
So I wrote down, like, different things that, like, I noticed in the movie.
Right.
So, in the beginning, it's about this guy who's, he's a music teacher and he loves music. Well, he doesn't want to be a music teacher. He just wants to pursue music.
Right.
He wants to be a pianist. And, I just thought it was so funny that, like, in the beginning, it's like, instead of, like, the real Disney, like, music, it was like the kids,
band,
like,
in the band, yes.
because I think he's in middle school, right? Is he a middle school teacher?
Yeah, middle school.
And
yes.
so, like, you can just imagine how beautiful that was. And I was like, wow, how relatable. When we all thought we were so good and it sounded amazing, and then you sit there as an adult and you're like, wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was never in band, so I can't really. I just hung out with band geeks. Sorry.
And then later in the movie, there's a kid who used to be one of the, his name's Joe. the main character.
The main character, yeah.
His former student, and I think, like, me personally, I still call my teachers by their last name. I can't call him.
I know, I like that too.
Like, my band director, like, I can't call him his name at all.
Yeah.
So, like, when he...
Wait a minute, did you have... Wait a minute, who was your band director?
Mr. Roush.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was Tim. He was your math teacher, wasn't he, in high school?
He was a math teacher, but he was the...
He was
drumline.
Band. Yeah.
He was
Yeah. Yeah, I remember him playing drums like at your dad's house, and I for some reason just thought he was not in the band, part of the band. No.
Yeah. You thought he was the director.
Yeah, I did. I did.
He's the drumline director.
Worst thing is I don't remember his last name. I just remember his Tim.
Marm.
Oh, was that?
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Shout out Tim. Last time I saw him, he just had a baby.
The baby's like 2 or 3 now.
Get out of here! I don't see him. I don't see him that often. Yeah. Especially after all the lockdown stuff.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody anymore.
I only see him on Facebook. Kid's cute. Little Timmy. Awesome. Little Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That was like a force. Like, oh.
All right.
Go
ahead now.
So then he...
I know. Stop calling me Mr. What was his last name? Joe what?
Gardner.
Mm-hmm. He's like, call me Joe.
Just call me Joe.
He's like, so Mr. Gardner. There are some people like that. I still call Mr. and Mrs. like parents and stuff.
Yeah.
I still say, and they're like, you're 46. So I don't think you have to say Mr. and Mrs. anymore. And I'm like, no problem, Mr.
Right. I actually did one of my teacher's hair a couple times, and the whole time I called her Mrs. Ferry. Like, I couldn't call her her name. It felt yucky to say, It
felt dirty.
Right. I'm like, I feel like I'll call Roush his name, like, to, like, my friends and stuff, but to his face, I'm like, mm-mm.
See, I was different when I went to high school, and my theater teacher, the first day, he's like, right away, he's like, not Mr. He's like, I'm Tom. So right away, I was like...
Yeah. Well, when you have that relationship...
Yeah, it was weird. Now, because we'd be in class, and I'd be like, Tom? Because it was like...
Mr. Tom?
It was like, you have that moment where you're just like, Mr... I just remember your first name, because that's all... You have that moment of like, dude, I never call you your last name, so what is your last name? Yeah. And I'm like, Tom?
Well, you just found out my real name was Jessica.
Yeah, like... people say, how do you not know that? And I'm like, how many people's like, all right, is Jessie her real name? Is this her fake name? Can everyone tell me so I can... Like, I never asked that. I just
thought you were around when my mom would yell at me, because that's the only time she called me Jessica.
I know.
It would be Jessica Catherine.
I'm like,
shit, I'm in trouble. When that middle name comes out.
Oh, yeah, that's all of us, though. Not just you. That's all of us. That's all of us.
All right.
Boss says that, and I'm like, I'm in trouble. I forget even.
Honestly.
Parents.
So the student calls him to be part of this band that he's in.
A gig.
Yes, a gig. Yeah. And the person that he's playing with was like his idol and what turned him on to jazz, which I thought was really cool.
Well, not really, unfortunately.
Well, his dad turned
No, because the piano, she's not a piano guy. She's one of the greats that he used to listen to, but didn't turn him on, because the piano guy is what really turned him on.
Okay, well,
just trying to be... Go ahead.
Jesus.
Too far.
He thinks a little too technical.
Too far.
That's what she said.
Okay. So he gets the student asks if he wants to join. He's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I really want to break. Like, this will be my break. And
Good.
Shannon. I'm sorry, she's still listening.
She's like, oh, God.
All right.
She's like, Jesse, just get to it.
Right. Like, all right, keep talking to the Niles guy. So anyways, so he gets his gig, and then he's like, he gets to play that night, and then he's not paying attention. He's on the phone, and
yeah. But I love the fact that he almost dies like throughout the whole time.
Right.
And the one time you're just like, oh, it's when he really dies.
Yeah.
Like it's like he gets almost hit by bricks. Mm-hmm. He almost gets hit. Yes, Shannon, you fell asleep before he died.
That's like
no, she. Wait a minute, how did that go? Wait, what was that? It was like. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, everyone. This is probably not entertainment for anyone else. It's entertainment just for me. How did that go, Jesse? What was it? Like, turn it on and then what? Okay, best moment ever. Oh, wow. God, yeah.
Can't say that's ever happened to me.
What, you turn up?
That's not what I thought that was going to be.
Just so you know, just for everyone to get that joke, the title says Rip Shot. Jesse, that was.
I was like, I don't know what that could be.
That's you were part of band, don't you know? Okay. I swear we don't do lives for anyone else but just us two, because we literally laugh at ourselves way more. You're sweating. Oh my gosh. It's new. I don't want to touch this one. Go ahead. Should I just keep going? I'll just tell. So he almost gets killed by bricks. Then he's walking on banana peels that like you're like, oh, he's gonna die.
He's in like
and then he almost
get
hit by he almost gets hit by a car.
Oh yeah.
Then he bumps into someone and says, "Excuse me," and then he's casually walking, falls down a manhole, right. Which you don't expect, like because you don't see it till the last, and you're like, what? So then he's now he's
just a soul.
He's just a little blue him with a hat and glasses.
Mm-hmm. So that way you could tell who he is.
Yeah, because if you didn't have the hat and glasses, you'd be like, who's this?
I'd be pretty sad if I died and I still had to wear glasses.
Yeah.
How fucking dumb is that?
That or a hat you don't like? Imagine that. I'd be like, really? Oh, what did they used to say? Wear the clothes you want to wear in case you die, because that's what you're going to be haunting. Imagine that. I'd be like, aw, it's not my favorite t-shirt.
I'll never wear it again.
Because
I'll never take it off.
You notice how we never see ghosts? We always see them like in 18-something. Yeah. We never see ghosts in t-shirts and like clam diggers and you know what clam diggers are? They're long shorts that go down. Like capris for women, but they used to call them clam diggers for men. Oh, man.
What kind of clams we going
for?
It's
tough when you do a podcast with a gay woman. Wow. That was dirty. That was good, though. Oh, no laughs on that one? I thought I was going to get a heart on that one. Or something. Don't you hit him. It doesn't count. You're worse than Shannon. Because she does that during our lives.
Does she?
Goes, yeah. She goes, oh my God, look how many people are laughing.
Doesn't tell you who it is, too?
Or no, I can't see it because she has an iPhone. Like, you know how yours? Yeah, here we go. That's yeah, she does.
Thanks, Shannon.
This one time. I can tell.
Sheesh.
I know. These jokes are not just for us. Yeah, it is.
It's only for Shannon. Shannon's like, it's not funny.
That's what she said.
So he's going up an escalator. Would you say an escalator?
Yeah.
And
it's like one of those.
Oh no.
You know, like when you go to the airport, you have hair. Sorry.
I am a man. I have hair on my face.
It was like it's bothering me.
All right. I think it made me feel.
You know, like when you go to the airport and they have like that.
Oh, like moving floor.
Yes.
Yes.
That's.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was
good. Same concept.
Yeah, because it wasn't really steps. And he's like, "Oh no, I don't need to die. I am going to play with my idol." He gets basically his big break, and the part you kind of missed out is that we meet his mom.
Oh yeah. And
his mom's like, because he got a job teaching, and it was a secure job where you're going to get insurance, you're going to get your whole package, like dental, like you got everything. It's a security thing. It's a security thing.
It's a solid job.
You got
solid
hours.
Income.
So Shannon says, I'm here for moral support.
This is one of the kids in the class.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
And so he's just like, okay, so I'm just going to touch base on this because I know I'm going to talk about this later too also, is that when you watched this in the beginning, what did you think in the beginning about Joe?
Until what part, though?
No, like, okay, the beginning, so before he dies, what's your judgment on Joe?
He's not happy, and that he really wants, like, he.
We only have an hour and 15 minutes.
We only have an hour. Like, he's not happy. He wants that big break, but he can't get it.
Well, for me, I feel like Joe is an older man. Mm-hmm. He looks like he's, would you say, in his 30s? He doesn't look like he's in his 20s. He looks like he's much older, like in his late 30s-ish, 35 or older. And he's at a crossroads. And I don't know who's listening or what your age is, but I feel like as adults, we all get to these crossroads where you have to take the job that you know is going to support you. Shannon says 35, 40 also, so I'm in the right range here. Or you take the jump off the bridge for your last time for your big break, like for your dreams.
Yeah.
It is a very scary thing because you have to decide, what your life is at that moment and how you can handle it. So he decides, like, this is his big break. He's been waiting forever. He's jumping. His mom is like, this is the stupidest thing in the world, which I don't know. Did you notice you probably, you're too young, but it's the, in the Cosby show, the mother is Cosby's wife, and I can't think of her name, and I know it's
Shannon.
It's so bad I can't remember because I loved her in the Cosby Show, but it's her voice, and she always plays that practical mom, like that mom who like gives a shout out, like that. Yeah. What are you doing? Practical, bring you back down to earth, and so he's basically pleasing his mom, but that's not
Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, it's Felicia Rashad. That's it. Thank you very much. All I could think it was her husband. I'm like, that doesn't work. Because he used to do NBA stuff. So it's one of those things that I don't know if you personally have gotten there because you are not. I'm not making fun of it, but you're younger, where you have to make those life decisions, and that's all coming up. It's life decisions like buying a house, because once you buy that, or like my mom used to say, buying a car and buying a house locks you down for life. Because you can never quit your job, and you can never, like, you're stuck with those things. Because once you have those bills are so heavy that you have to have this job.
Yeah.
So there's never a point where you can say, oh, I'm going to quit. I'm going to try something new, because then that means you don't have your car or you don't have your house anymore. Like those type of trick. So it's definitely, for me, I found Joe was in a very tough spot. There were some easy things, though. He didn't have a family or anything like that.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. So he dies. He's going up the escalator, and now he doesn't want to. He's basically running back and doing whatever he can to get out of there.
And then he like falls off and he lands where the new souls are.
Right.
And the only way that he can go back to his body and not die is if he trains a soul or has a soul find its purpose.
Right. So what happens is he needs a badge. Let me go a little more detail. He goes in a badge. And what happens is they say, oh, what happens is he goes in as somebody else, too. He doesn't even go as himself. And he's like, oh, okay, why don't you do this or that? And then he's like, okay. The only thing is, what happened to the actual soul that was supposed to be there? The doctor.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to him? Like, he just disappeared?
Right.
Like, he didn't jump him and take his his little name tag. It was just like he wasn't there. Right. So the little guy that was miscounting,
right? He should have been up there.
Like that's what I was thinking. Like he miscounted that guy. Not that right away. I thought that. Like what happened to the guy? He's like I was waiting for him to be like, no, that's me. That's me. Later, like you know. Mm-hmm. But we never see this guy. Mm-hmm. So he realizes that if he gets a soul to get the badge, he's going to steal the badge and then go back down to Earth. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't work that way. Or at least at that moment, it doesn't work that way.
No, because this soul doesn't want a purpose, pretty much.
So this is where, for me, I felt like it was I felt like our relationship. Like, I've lived things, you haven't lived things. Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm sitting there trying to say, oh, don't buy this type of car. Don't do this with your hair. Don't do this with because this is what happens. Yeah. And you're like, no. No, I'm not saying us personally, but it's the age difference where I've lived somewhat of my life and you are now starting and it's like, okay, well, let's not make the same mistakes I did. Don't do A, B. And I'm sure I'm using you and I, but it could be your dad, it could be your mom, could be, you know, like that generation gap.
Very close to me. Smack me around, huh?
That's what she said.
So right away.
Shane's watching. Come on.
So what happens is I feel like he's trying to give her advice, but he's trying to give her advice, this soul, like in 10 seconds.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, it'd be great. Don't you want pizza? Eat pizza. Oh, no, you can't taste pizza. It was like, you can't taste anything. You can't touch anything.
Oh my God, that part was so funny. We're just like...
it just goes in right out.
You're like me with coffee.
This is me with food, period. So there's a piece of me who kind of sits back and I go, I totally related in this movie. Like, I totally get where you're... he's such in a rush because it's like... Don't jump off that cliff. Don't jump off that cliff. Why? Because you're going to hurt yourself. Why? Because you're going to hurt yourself. Why? It's not exactly that way, but it's like it becomes that way. And then, so it fails because she doesn't like anything. Mm-hmm. Anything at all. Yeah. They go through everything.
Every job.
Everything you could love. Yeah. And she's like, nope. Yep. I watched the Graham Norton Show. And it's a talk show on the BBC. I watch it through BBC America. Obviously, it's a British show. And he plays the pirate, like, on the ship. I love him. He just cracked me up.
Who does?
The little pirate guy that comes off on the, he's not really a pirate, but he's on the pirate ship. Yeah. And I love that moment where they figure they're going to get him.
I love how he's just constantly in that state.
Yeah, like and I love
we all know that one person.
Yeah, but the best part, he's in that state while he's functioning where the rest are like, I'm listening to bongos and I'm censoring myself, and he's like, yeah, I'm doing something like that too. Right. And then you see him in real life with one of those arrow things, just spinning it around, like he's just totally out of it. I was like, why can't that be me? I want to be in La La Land at like 100% of the day. Definitely Niall's favorite. Yeah.
I mean, how could he not be?
I know. I love that guy just because he's so... And then when you meet him in real life, he's so like the same guy. And you're just like, oh my gosh. And so they open up a portal to connect him to his body. Mm-hmm. And yet when he goes to jump in...
The little soul comes.
The little soul jumps in... But she lands up in, it was 22. That's 22, the soul. Yeah. It lands up into his body.
And then he ends up
into the cat's body, which is a
therapy cat in the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
What's his name? Fluffy or something like that?
I don't even know what it was. All I know is that anytime you're next to a fluffy cat, you need to walk away.
Hey, yo.
Whip.
I don't know why I wanted that one. Because it had to be. So I love the fact now 22 has to be him. Mm-hmm. because
then he can walk or they can walk a mile in his shoes. He can.
Right.
They can see
which
like
he ends up saying later, but yeah.
Oh,
at the very end, he ends up saying she figures it because she's so anti. Like, I don't want to be the Earth.
Yeah. So they get a taste of like what they're missing out on.
Right. And it's such a kid thing because it's such an amazing thing. I don't know how parents are. I can only talk from my personal thing about being a parent. There's something special when you tell your kid A, B, C, the light goes on, but it's not all the way on.
Yeah.
But it's slightly on. I love the fact when it goes all the way on. Like when you have that moment, like, now I know why I shouldn't put my hand on the, like, you know what I mean? Like the hand on the grill, or I get it. I dyed my hair green, and my job told me this or that. I'm not saying that's the way it should be. It's a little more different nowadays, but we kind of talk about our life experience, and then we try to give it to the younger generation. The only problem is, as we all are, we always fight the older generation. Or at least that's my opinion, because I got a lot of advice.
We all think we're right.
Yeah, we all think we know what we're talking about until the moment. And then she gets to, because she's Joe, she basically gets to...
Well, it's funny, too, because Joe is so, like... He's not afraid. He's afraid to step out of the box, where 22 is, like, pushing the boundary, or pushing Joe's boundaries. Like, he went out, like... 22
she's the why.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do that. Why?
Yeah.
Why can't we do that? Why? And then, like adults, there's points where we go, I don't know why. We just don't do this.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I always got pushed with that. Why don't we do this? Oh, just because this is the way it's always been. Okay, I accept that. But why do we do it? Why does it have to be this way?
Yeah.
And Joe ends up seeing life a little differently. And she gets to see life a little different, 22. And they're running around trying to get Joe this job, back to the gig. And she messes it up for him. Coming out with the pizza, like, see there with the Johnny on, like, and she's like,
oh my God. Like, maybe you're just hungry. Yeah. I feel a little better now, but I ate.
I'm not so angry. I'm not so angry.
Been there.
I don't know. It's just it was like, you can tell. This is something that I guess I feel like this movie is not get praised enough on. Is that you have two generations that are actually touching each other in the right way, of finding the gray, of saying, oh yeah, I forgot that we used to be this way. And then, oh, I forgot this is why we have to be this way. Like, both sides.
Yeah.
Like, there was really more gray that I saw, and a deeper thing than, because this would be the second time I watched it. And this time I watched it, and I really saw that whole, like, oh, I think he's getting it. But he still wasn't, because all he could see was, I need to get this one-in-a-lifetime shot. And if I miss it, because what we didn't talk about was when he's in that room and he sees his life. This is what I'm talking about. He's been waiting for this day to happen. He hasn't always made the day happen. He's been waiting for this day.
Yeah.
And now the day's come, and now he's trying to take advantage of it. But he's wasted
his whole
25
life.
years, like, trying to get here.
Yeah.
I don't know about everyone else, but when I watched this, I thought a lot about, like, things that I had done in my life. I used to show horses and jump and ride and go up and down the East Coast and my parents and me, my parents took me to every horse show. They were amazing. I can't stress enough all the things. And I won a bunch of things, and I don't want to sit here and go through the whole list, but
yeah,
I've looked back and I'm going, what a special thing I had. What a special period of time I've had from probably from 7 to 18, maybe a little bit older, 20. But then now I'm 46 and I look back and I'm like, whoa, was that my 15 minutes of fame? Was that my 15 minutes of fame? Was that what I'm going to be remembered for? Like that small little, and it's like the same thing for me, except for him, he hasn't hit it yet.
Yeah.
And now he's going to hit it and everything goes wrong for him. Mm-hmm. And his suit rips with her. And he's like, cover your butt. It's not my butt. I love that one. He's like, cover my butt. Well, it's your butt, not my butt. Yeah, but it's my butt. It's just you're in my body. And, of course, everyone just hears the cat goes meow, 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 meow. You don't. And so they
Was that before or after his haircut?
Oh, I forgot about the haircut. That was great. The cat, I don't even know how you would even think that would good. Like,
I don't know.
He's the cat and he's holding the hair clippers.
Yeah.
And his whole body's shaking. Mm-hmm. And I would just be, and of course he fumbles it because he doesn't have hands. And he shaves like half his, like right up the thing. Yeah. And he's like, we need to go to the bartender. That's where I need to go. I need a few drinks.
Same. The barber.
The barber.
Bartender,
I need 3 more rounds. This haircut's gonna look amazing.
But then, while 22's in Joe's body getting his haircut, he actually asked about,
different questions. Yeah.
Instead of just talking about jazz.
Right. He's been so focused.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
You realize Joe's so focused on one dream that he's leaving life behind. Mm-hmm. And I understand.
That's a good way to put it.
I kind of get that because I feel like, again, I'm going to talk for me. I mean, I don't know if anyone's going to associate with me or probably think I'm a weirdo. But we get stuck on this rat race. Sorry to bore you.
I know. Sheesh.
Yeah, sorry.
Hello there.
I feel like as an adult, we get so wrapped up into the rat race or what we think we're going to be or what we want it to be or how we want it or what we want our lives to be that we pick a goal, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but we keep reaching for the goal, but we miss. What was that wise person once said? Half the experience.
We only have an hour here.
Half the experience. Half an hour. No. Half the way. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. It's about the journey more than it is the destination.
Yeah.
Half the fun is in the journey than the actual destination.
Well, and like society puts a whole.
Hello. Not my dad. It's true. Go ahead.
Society puts a whole, like, you have to get married, you have to
get a house, get a car, blah, blah,
have kids, you have to hit all these goals, and if you do them too fast, then you're not living.
It's not about doing too fast.
No,
it's
but
about,
I mean, like,
it's about like you get married,
mm-hmm.
you get pregnant. You get your wife, mm-hmm. or you get pregnant. Mm-hmm. You have a kid. All of a sudden, it's like now you have a car bill or 2 car bills. You have a house bill. Mm-hmm. You have a car, the 2 car bills. You have a child bill, if you understand what I mean by that.
Amen.
And all of a sudden, you're working to pay for everything. You're not enjoying it because it's right away like, well,
you have to do it. It's not you want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't.
No, you want to do it because you want a roof for your loved one. Right. Whatever. And I'm not. Before someone says, "Oh, you're saying a man," you're saying a woman. No, whoever it is, because I know a lot of men and women work nowadays for their families, but they work for the rat circle. Yeah. It's like you're basically paying for you to come home being exhausted, to have 5 minutes with your kid, and you're exhausted. You put the kid to bed because they went. You're paying for daycare. Which always kills, like in my brain, it always kills me thinking that you're like one of you are just working just for that, or for that and a little bit more. It depends on your pay, and then all you're doing is you're coming home. It is 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock by the time you get home. You make a quick dinner. Maybe your kid's already eaten. You spend, now, I know some people are like, oh, no, I don't have that schedule. I get it. I'm not saying it has to be exactly like this. But you spend your 10 minutes with your kid, which I know it can be more than 10 minutes. You put them to bed.
Right.
You know, by the time you give them the bath, by the time you have a moment, then you're saying that because you're tired, because you've been up since 5 something or 6 something, because you have to get ready to go to work.
You have to get your kids ready to
go to school.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's another day. And then it's
just a cycle.
And then it's now they're 18. Now they're kind of like they need to be on their own. Your life changed from infants to school, elementary. Your life changes again in middle school, and your life changes. I'm talking about adults and the high school of raising you guys. And then what happens is all of a sudden you're 18 years. 18 years is gone out of your life and their life, but they're grown up.
They're long days but short years.
Right. I feel we see the goal. And there are lots of parents, and I'm not trying to say, again, there are a lot of parents who take that few minutes and go, yeah, I used to watch this with whatever, or, you know, like I used to do. There are parents, I'm not saying everybody, I'm not putting a blanket on this, but too many of us get caught up into this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to preach to everyone, so I'm not, before you think I'm judging or whatever, because I have lots of friends that have, I have a few friends that have like nannies. They have 3 kids. The nanny watches them, and they have really good jobs where they're running around with
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I get to see my kids on the weekend, or I get to see my kids like on this day. And like, as everyone else, as they get older, guess what happens? They start living life, and then you're trying to go to like a game, and you're like, oh, hi, honey, you know, but you're not really there.
Yeah.
Like, you're there to watch, and then as soon as it's over, they're going off with their friends for an after like game pizza party or something. I don't know. It's really, I think in this movie, I think this is something that they lightly touched on. They didn't really want to go too deep on this, but I feel like it made me think of it. It made me go, yeah. Because when he has the flashbacks and he sees everything he's done, how many times he's eaten alone, because he's like, oh, I've been waiting for this dream, so I don't have a family, I don't have this, I don't have that, so nothing weighs me down, so when the day comes, I can just do this.
Yeah.
But he missed out on everything. And then now he has 22 going, did you know this pizza tastes this good? And it's like, yeah, it's pizza. Yeah, I'm a good walker. I love that one. I'm a good walker. It's just walking. Like, he's taking for granted,
like the little things.
Like the little things we all do.
Yep.
Just like, again, with our kids, we take it for granted, and then one day we go, I miss someone that used to say that funny thing, or jump around in the living room, or, you know, what have you, whatever you have, because we all have those moments. I don't know, I felt like I got super deep, but that's exactly what I thought about.
Well, and then he finally gets to perform, and then it's like, he like got to the finish line, and there was like, he expected like fireworks and everything, and it's like, okay. It's
such a typical human being thing.
Right. You think your goal is just
feel in my life, I've seen this in my friends' lives, I've seen this in people that I don't even know, like really well, on Facebook or whatever, literally will say, oh, I got it. And it's like, okay, I knew someone who made a YouTube movie a long time ago. I would say probably in 2009, 2010. And they were so excited to make this movie. And the whole process, like, they finally put it up. And I remember he's like, I don't know if I can do this one again. I don't know if I could do this again. Like, it took so much out of him. Because he was doing everything. Like, mind you, like, I mean, he wasn't doing all the acting, but it was so much involved in it that I felt like there was a lot of stuff that he couldn't
he couldn't enjoy it.
He didn't enjoy it because he didn't have those moments of going, like, you want to hear something funny? I thought of us a little bit because, as you all know, there's no one here to help us. This is just us two normally. There are times that we have Brian or Sam upstairs or Kelsey, your half, or the boss, my half. Yeah, they come, but most of the time they're here to kind of just do whatever we're doing to spice up this live/podcast the best we can. But there's no one to hit these buttons So when like Jessie walks around and we start laughing, it's because Jessie has to hit the live button, then she has to hit the record button on the YouTube, and then she has to hit this button over here. And she does that because I'm in the corner here, because one of us has to sit in this corner.
So we know we're lined up.
So we can't, Right. So it's not like, even though there's two of us, it really falls a lot on you. To some degree, even though just for the record, I help set up, like with because we have our sound effects. There's a speaker here and there's a speaker over there. Look, I help set up all this stuff. Yeah. But I don't know about you. Isn't this fun that I don't know if we would have as much fun if it was just us coming and everything would be all set up, and we just kind of now. I'm not saying everything else set up wouldn't be nice. Yeah. But we have like a little thing. And if we did have an area, I know your dad said it, but if we did have an area that's everything all set up, there's something about trying to, like, you hitting the buttons, you coming around. It's just like...
That's what makes it.
It's pure. Yeah. It's just like, we're not professionals. Yeah. We're lucky if 2 people watches us. I mean, we have 2 people now, and it's...
One of them's not us.
No, because it's mine.
Right.
Like, it's 2 people, and it's pretty much usually people we know that just probably just clicked in and put it down and walked away. Yeah. For me, this is so pure, and we just have a thing. And then he has a moment, and like everyone does, they finally get there. And it's like, oh, what happens now? We do it all again tomorrow. And it's like, all right. Then I felt at that moment, it didn't feel as pure, because it's like, well, no, I just touched something. It's like touching the sun. It's like, once you touch the sun, the second time, it's like, yeah, I'm touching the sun. Yeah. The third time, yep, been here. By the fourth time, you're like, yep.
I'm going to relate it to something is probably like wedding planning.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the whole time you're stressed out planning, you can't enjoy it. Like, no. Especially like for all of us who were trying to get married during a pandemic, like to add that stress onto it, like the whole time I was just, people are like, oh, well, I hope you have good weather. I'm like, well, I just hope I can have it. Right. Because it got canceled once. Right. So like I couldn't enjoy it because I was too afraid that it was going to be canceled again. And then I'd have to do all this again. And like, it wasn't fun the first time.
I think
like it's so stressful for one day.
The one thing I will say that,
and everyone wants to put their input in.
The hardest thing that I had was when I got married. Of course, now,
like 8,000 years
ago, right? I find a lot of things I was like, especially a lot of advice I got was, this isn't your day. This is her day. This is the day that from the day she was born, she was a little girl dressed up saying, someday I'm going to marry. Boys don't do this. So like, I was like, okay, I respect that. Like that made sense to me. 1 + 1 = 2. So I said, okay. So when it came time to get married, and every time she'd like, oh, what do you want? I'd be like, what do you want? And she's like, I want this. And I'd be like, okay, do that. But by the end of the marriage, by the end of our planning, she had done everything. She was so annoyed because I had no input, because every input that I did have went 100% against what she did. Because I wanted casual. I wanted only a few people there. She was from a big Portuguese family. She wanted A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I just was like, I just didn't have that. Like I just, it was my goal was to marry her, not have this big party. Like I could care less who was there. Yeah. And it was like, oh, we have to have this one. We have to. I'm like, why? Because we're going to have to go to her wedding because she's giving us. And that was the other thing. Everyone gave us $1. She had like a book that she wrote down. Everyone gave us $1. And then I'm like, what are we doing? She'd go, we have to go back to all their weddings to give back the $1. I'm like, how about they just kept the $1 and we just didn't. Now we don't have to go to their weddings. Right. That's not how it works. Yeah. And I said, well, that's how it should work. Because what was the point of getting the $1 if I have to give it? It wasn't $1. But, what was the point of this?
Yeah. That's one thing with Kelsey. It was like, well, what do you want? Like she came to me and she was like, do you care if I wear a hat to the wedding? I'm like, I don't fucking care. It's your wedding too. Like,
right.
Like, as long as it's not like.
I asked for my propeller hat, and no.
Yeah.
I asked for a funny vest.
Yeah.
I snuck it in.
Yeah.
I had a funny vest like right at the end. I was like, whoop. And the night before, we got in a huge fight because I had messed up the line. And of course, I don't know if anyone, because obviously some people don't know me personally, but when I get nervous, I joke a lot. Like I laugh. It's like I try to de-stress myself. Mm-hmm. And she got really mad. Oh, you're not taking it seriously? Yeah. You're not taking it seriously? You're not? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And then, of course, our wedding, she messed up like 3 lines. And I'm like, looking at her like, really? Mm-hmm. You're going to give me grief and then you're going to be the one who messes up all the stuff?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's so stressful. And at the end of the day...
It shouldn't be.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I was sick. That night, I was in the toilet more than anything else because I didn't eat the night before because I was so stressed that she was going to walk out because things weren't right because she was so like, if this ain't right and we don't get this, I'm not getting married. And you're like,
oh my God.
Like,
so like, am I getting married?
Yeah. Like in my head, I was convinced that like she literally wasn't going to like show, like, it'd be the wrong flowers and she'd be like, nope, not coming.
Right.
It'd be like,
runaway bride.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was just one of those weird things like for me. And this is the same trick, is that you get the goal. The only thing that I loved about this movie is Joe figures it out.
Yeah.
Joe sees it. And he's like, yeah, I'm out. Forget this. And I love the fact that he's now back in heaven, which we never really figure out how he commits suicide to get back into heaven. Everyone knows that. It was just like, boom, he was back. Think about that.
No,
what?
He went to...
Oh, he put himself in a trance? Was that it? Okay, I missed that.
Yeah.
Because he was on the boat.
He saw the pirate guy.
Yeah.
And that's how he got back there. So I don't know like what he looks like in real life. Because after he went into the trance,
the trance. I forgot about the trance. Yeah. It was like he was back, but he gives the 22 and saves her. And basically, I love the fact that now we figure out, or he figures out, which we figure out, it's not about purpose in there.
Yeah.
It's about finding the thing that makes you want to go to Earth.
The last box fills in when you're ready to live, not purpose.
Right. When you're ready to, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. And for Joe realizes that he did live. But he didn't live. He got what he wanted, not what he wanted. And this person was excited about walking. How can you take that away? Now, this is where my dad's senses kicked in.
Yeah.
Where it was like, yeah, because we would all do that for our kids.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like, I talk about this. I know I've said this on other lives before. Is that I would literally give up whatever I had to give up for my daughter to live not exact life, but like that style of life that I lived my life. With riding my bikes with friends, with going to the movies, with just, and I know it's like, oh my gosh, what happened? Let her live. Whatever happened, but she lived. Like, I don't want my kid in a box. I never want that. And I know there's other problems. You know what? This movie was the great showing of, it doesn't matter what decision you make, there are problems. There's no easy way. This guy did everything right. And still, and then I love the fact.
Well, then he ended up.
And then they said, would you go back? And he's like, what would you do? And
I had the quote.
Okay, go.
What are you going to do with the rest of your life? I don't know, but I'm going to live every minute of it.
And for me, I was hoping he went back to being a teacher.
Yeah.
I really was hoping he was going back to teacher because...
Then he could help all those other kids live.
Because he had such a passion. He could take those kids who have the same passion, purpose.
Like that one trombone kid in the beginning.
And then be like, go.
Yeah.
Go. I don't know. It's just, for me, it was one of those moments where I was just like, oh, no.
I think it's recording over the last one because I think it was split. I think it's just going to record over the last one.
No problem.
Hopefully.
I just want to make sure. You mean the last one we haven't posted yet?
I saved it already though. Like I mixed it, whatever.
Whatever it is, what it is, right, boss?
Yep. There's a way I can finesse it.
Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. Hold on.
Ask a child if he or she is choking.
Are you choking? Are you choking?
Do they not know when you're choking you can't talk? If you can talk,
right.
then you're not choking.
Right.
Hence the air. I love that one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just, for me, it was just like a great moment because it just saw the bigger picture of it all. Mm-hmm. And the bigger picture is just because you think you know what's going on doesn't mean it is what's going on. Mm-hmm. And for me, I felt like there was a point where the kid taught the parent, not the parent, but the adult taught the kid. And it was a nice moment of it working out. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always work out that way because we always tell our kids don't do. Yeah. You know, it's like if you're a girl, don't get pregnant in high school. Like why? It's like why? But we do know why because you won't finish school and then trying to go out and not having your high school diploma or getting your diploma with a kid.
You should live your life before having a kid.
It's like all these things.
Yeah.
And it's usually because we know, because we're like, oh, we had a girl or I did or, it's always something like that. And we always we never want the generation, our children, to live our mistakes. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like it happens. That's how it works. Yeah. Because a lot of them will say, oh, I know better. And then they're 10 years later going, Mom, you're right. I should have never done this. Yeah. I think sometimes that's because we don't explain the whole picture. We hide our lives and we don't kind of say, okay.
Because I said so.
Yeah. Yeah, this is why.
Yeah.
I was 15. I was knocked up. Didn't go to the prom. Couldn't go out. I had to deal with you. I had to change your diapers. I don't regret it. I love you with all my heart. But couldn't go drinking when I was 21. I couldn't go do, all of a sudden you can kind of, the kid go, yeah, I don't think I would want that either. Mm-hmm. I always love those, the kids who have to watch their brothers and sisters. Yeah, I'm not having kids. Because it's like, well, now you know. It's a lot of work. Yeah. Which I don't like because I always feel like if you had the kids, that you're, not your kids. Mm-hmm. But I think there's always that medium. You can find that medium place. I love this movie. I responded.
It's my first time watching it.
Was it? Mm-hmm.
I saw the beginning, but
you fall asleep before you died.
No, I started watching it while I was babysitting, and then the baby woke up. So
fall asleep before you died.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Shannon.
You and Shannon both went.
We watched it together.
He's like walking. You both. I don't know. I think this is a great movie. I don't know. I always look deep into these things. One thing I loved about this movie didn't make me cry. Finally, it was the one movie that didn't make me cry. God. I know. I cried. I was inside out.
I'm surprised you didn't cry.
There was nothing to cry over. Everyone's dead. Everyone's coming back. Everyone's not dying. I'm like, oh, this is too confusing. It was like Grey's Anatomy. Everyone's dying. Everyone's not dying. I'm like, oh man. Oh.
Spoiler.
The boss isn't here. I was waiting for her to say something because I said Grace. She'd be like, don't talk about my Grace. Shannon's watched that like 10 times. Like, probably more than 10 times. Like, she just keeps watching it. I'm like, I cannot watch any show. Like, I can watch it like once and then 10 years later watch it again. That's it. I can't do like...
I watch Friends all the time.
Do you? Mm-hmm. How can you watch things like...
Okay, so I read something that my generation, it's comfortable.
Yeah, it's not no surprise you don't have the anxiety.
Right, because then you don't.
But that's what I want. I want anxiety. Like I want anxiety. Because that's what keeps me awake.
There's nothing worse than like watching a show and you're like, this is the worst fucking show I've ever put on.
No, the worst is this. I've seen this 10 times. Joey's gonna say this. Oh, watch, Monica's gonna walk in with the turkey on her head. Oh my God, she's so funny. Like I hate that. It's like. I actually get stimulated by the...
Stimulated.
Stimulated.
Same.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Yes, it is. Especially
anything can be an instrument.
Let me just tell you that's one of my favorite shows.
Oh, can you watch that one over and over again?
No. I've watched it. I've watched all 20 years one time, and that's all I've watched.
That's a lot.
That's 20. Yeah, of 20 episodes.
Years.
Yeah, because it started in 89 or something like that, 89 or 90. And I found a station that was doing like all the repeats. I watched them all. And I was like,
bestie.
And if I had saw it, I just wouldn't watch that one. Deleted and moved to the next one. See this one? I didn't watch it again. I knew who was going to die.
Nice.
No, I can't do that. Like, well, Soul we watched, and then I watched again because it was a long time. You know, it had been like, so yeah. I was like, she's like, oh,
I also have a memory of a goldfish, so I need to like watch things again. Oh, like, oh yeah, I remember that.
I remembered it, but I only watched it once. And it was so long ago, so it was easy. Like Inside Out, I only watched it once. So someone said, "What is it about?" I'm like,
"You're inside."
It's like my favorite actors or comedians in it. They're like, "Go on," and he's angry, and he's red.
Is this Seven Doors?
And he's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna watch it again."
Just go watch it.
It is. It's a good movie. It's deep. I don't think it's that deep, though. Like, I feel like it just, I don't know, like, for me, it became deep because it was such a feel-good story that it became, like, I don't know. I always try to find myself into all these characters. I am a big person on that. Any movie I'm watching, I'm that person. I go, yeah, I do that. No, I wouldn't do that. Like, I watch.
You want to be the main character.
No.
Like, I can be, like you're putting yourself as
no, I can be any character in the thing. Because anything that's going on at the moment, like, I go, oh, yeah, I would do that. Like, oh, I want to do that. I'm really bad because I just finished watching Star Trek Discovery, the 4th season. And, like, every time I was like, nope, wouldn't do that. I was like, during that whole episode, the whole season, it was absolutely wonderful. But it was more like, no, I just, no, I wouldn't. What are you doing that for? No, I wouldn't. Like, I just was like, no, and actually was good. Because at the end, I go, oh, that kind of worked out then. I would never... Yeah, everything would have been a giant hole. Yeah. I would have blown everything up. Like,
yeah.
No, it's just that, but that's how I am, and that's what gets me emotional because I'll put like the people I love in all those situations and be like, okay, if this was people I know, and you know, am I here? What would I do? And I'd be like, well, we'd be blown up somewhere, all of us together. We'd be all dead together.
I'm not dead yet. Oh, can I tell you one of my favorite lines in this?
You can do whatever you want.
When they're in the, they're both souls still. One of the lines was, "You can't crush a soul in here. That's what Earth's for."
I know.
I laughed so hard at that.
Really?
Yeah, I paused it. I was like, "Wow, that's life." That was deep.
You know, that's the worst thing about this, and I told you this earlier. I feel like if we could go back in time and I sat with a 20-year-old me, they would be so disappointed in me because there is so many things that I said was going to happen. They said they weren't going to happen. Go ahead, yawn. I'm sorry that I'm boring you. Or, I'm not even dead yet. And life doesn't throw you what you think. Like you have this roadmap and you're so determined to stay on the roadmap. But when life really starts going for you, you're kicked off.
Yeah.
You're kicked off of it. You're thrown in the gutter. You get back on it for a few minutes. You see a glimpse of hope. It smacks you back off again.
Yeah.
Now you're in like
you're like an obstacle course.
Yeah. And there is a road. I don't know who walks it, but it's not many of us.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what it is, but I just think there's a piece of, I think, a younger you. Like, and it's weird because I like to think that when I'm long gone, drooling in myself or a soul, that you'll watch these and you'll go, I didn't see that. Like, I wasn't like, and you'll think, I didn't think of that at that moment. Or I was no, you're wrong. Or, you know, whatever, what you're thinking about, which is probably like, I know what you're thinking about. You're thinking this.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
You know, I'm going to go back and watch these and be like, I don't remember that at all.
That's usually what happens.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Yes.
How
do you spell that?
Yes. No, someone said to me, "Oh, what'd you talk about?" I don't know. What do you mean you don't know?
Whatever the fuck we want.
we just talk.
Yeah.
We don't script it. I know there's other podcasts that write down stuff and probably write down all this. We do our homework. I mean, you do write stuff. I write stuff too.
Mm-hmm. If I don't write stuff, I will lose it.
I'm pretty good at I'm good at comprehension stuff. So if we're gonna watch a movie, I'm pretty good the next day talking about the movie because I'm paying attention to the movie. I told you, I'm engulfed in it. So I think about everything. I thought about the blues and greens of the thing, the black of space, and how they made it empty. I thought to myself, the Jerry. It sounded like the woman who plays Wonder Woman. I thought of I think
which Jerry?
The one that finds him, the tall lady one, not Terry, Jerry. I thought of the whole. What happened to the doctor? What happened to the doctor?
Yeah.
Was he the one that's really missing, and not Joe? Was Joe not supposed to die? Was he supposed to go back? Was this all supposed to happen? Was this the fate of the what is it, the loom? You know, when they your thread, your life thread in loom. Yeah. Was it all set up to be this way, where he goes knowing that he wasn't really going to die because he was off the number? But where's that doctor? Why wasn't he there to complain? If he was so where is he?
Is he in a coma?
No, because then he'd be going, what happened to him? Did he go sent back down? Because then the number would be wrong. It should be 2 people missing. Not 1.
Deep.
That's what she said. So, I don't know. I would suggest this movie. I love this movie.
This one kind of got lost in the shadows because it came out during a time where other movies were shining.
It came out during I'm going to say the beginning of the whole movies coming out on Disney Plus type of deal. It didn't come out in the movie theater because it was closed down. And I thought it was good. I don't know. I question, because I'm now 46, if a kid could watch that.
I don't think they'd understand.
Because there was a lot of stuff that seemed to be how would a little, maybe it would be funny watching Joe being 22 trying to eat and stuff, but there was a lot of stuff going, is this really funny? There's not a lot of bumps, and there's not a fairy tale here. I don't know. So it was Jamie Foxx and oh no, I know the lady who she's on Saturday Night Live with the brown hair. She does the
I don't watch it.
You don't watch anything.
Just you, baby. I'll look it up.
Oh, hello there.
No, what's her name? And you're gonna say it now right away. It's gonna annoy me because I'm at that age now. I just can't seem to. And of course, the worst thing I only can pop in my head is Tracy Morgan, which is Tina Fey. That's it, Tina Fey.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, go back. Oh, son of a biscuit, what are you doing? I love how I said biscuit after, you swear on a daily basis. I don't know, she was in it. I was convinced the Wonder Woman was in it. But she's not. That ruined the whole thing for me.
Sorry.
Ruined the whole thing for me. And I was wrong. What's her name's not in it?
Who?
Oh, yes, she is. Felicia Rashad. I was right. It just was further down.
Oh, I didn't know she was in it.
Who's she?
Fortune Finisher. She's a funny
comedian.
comedian.
Yeah, she is very funny.
Yeah.
Hello. What are we doing? Oh, well, we're doing a podcast, which
you just missed.
We're almost done. And we were talking about Soul. It was a good movie. And it's almost time for... Oh, we got a few minutes left. So how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? I feel like Joey from Friends. I know.
That was a joke.
I know. But what happens if you didn't watch Friends?
Well, it goes over your head.
Do you watch? Okay, just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch Friends differently now?
I only started watching it as.
Oh, it's okay. Because when it first came out, I was in high school, and then when I watched it later, it was a great movie. It was definitely a good movie. I probably would suggest you to watch this podcast on YouTube because we really touched a lot of deep stuff on this, and it'll be out on next Tuesday. We don't really have a time on Tuesday. It comes out when it posts. It comes out when it comes out.
Hey, yo. Me too. I came out when I came out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, though.
Yes. All right, guys. Liking is definitely an important thing because even though the views I know really counts, because I've noticed a lot of people watching. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gary, for keep watching play over and over again.
He just clicks in and out.
No, he listens to the whole thing and shuts it off and hits again.
Right.
So it counts. But make sure you like. That actually really does help. It helps us because then we know it's a little compliment. It's a little like you can leave a comment or something. Mm-hmm. That just half the time we know we're just doing it for ourselves. But it's nice to know if someone else is watching.
Right.
Doesn't make us feel so lonely.
Mm-hmm. Tell us what you want to see too.
I know. We're here on Thursdays at 7:00, and we go live. And you can talk to us, as you can see. People pretty
Stop
much.
talking. Just kidding. They left.
It was great. Bye. I missed it. See you later. It goes just a tad bit too long. Mm-hmm. Don't you just love that?
Mm-hmm. I do like these sounds better, though, than the last ones.
My favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Well, the years start coming and they don't stop 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 coming and they don't stop.
See, it's too long, but this is the best sound effects I love. This is the best one. There's other ones we have. I love it.
Oh, why didn't you do that when she first came in?
Who? Oh, yeah.
Hey, boss.
Hey, boss.
She's gone, so she can't. She missed it.
Bye, boss.
Bye, boss.
Damn, son, you just hit with the wow effect.
Wow.
Oh, this is going to get me in trouble. I can tell you that right now. These sound effects. I don't know. Tell us what you think. Tell us on next topics. I mean, Oh, wait a minute. We got to do this. Wait a minute. Everyone which is nobody right now, but
The none of you.
I know that sounded weird.
All 0 of you.
The none of you. The none of you. The none of you. And people on YouTube.
There's still none of you.
No, we begin 22 views.
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry,
Gary.
Dad.
Oh, your dad.
Okay, so Dad.
You know your dad listens, and he probably's like,
another dad joke.
He's
like, oh, I actually stopped listening.
He's like, yeah, I haven't listened in like months. Next Thursday, I'm actually going to be advertising this on the Goofy Geek a lot because next Thursday I am going to be eating weird combinations of food. Now, this is supposed to be a good combination of food, but they're all weird. Such as, I'll just drop this one.
Which one are you going to drop?
I'm going to is the mustard and Oreo cookies.
It's like pregnancy cravings. That's what it sounds like. He just threw up a lie in his mouth. You hear that swallow?
I know. Like, oof. I am going. There is a. I think we have at least 20 different type of combination that people have written and said that this is their favorite food from the internet. It's not like they've written to us, but there's this thing where they say these are our favorite foods, such as, I like to put mustard on my Oreos. I'm really, this is not going to be good for me. I can tell you this. I'm going to do them. And there's going to be tons of different foods here that we're going to try that I'm going to be honest with you, I would never mix in a trillion years because
it's almost like, like when you're hungry and you like can't find, like you have no food and you're like, I guess I'll have Oreos and mustard.
Right. Oh my God.
I don't have milk. So.
Like you walk in, you're like, I don't have jelly. I have peanut butter. I don't have jelly. Let me put an apple in it. And you're like, it's not bad. And like, no, you know what'd be better? Let me put an orange in there and be like, no. Like,
nope, that ain't it.
Like, I don't know what it is, guys, but I am going to be, so Jessie said she might do the ones that might look interesting. So I am
There's a couple that he said that I'll try.
There's like 2 out of like the 30 something I had.
There's a couple.
I said apples with pepper and salt. Your face was like, I was like, that's the most common. That's the most normalest thing there was in that whole list. I mean, compared to the mixture.
Yeah.
So I know no one's watching, but if you're on YouTube and you want to come on Facebook, we're on the Goofy Geek. It's on Mondays on the East Coast time, just in case you're on the West Coast or wherever you're watching, in case you're going someplace scary. Like
Monday.
No, did I say Monday?
Yep.
I meant Thursday. No, Tuesday. If you're listening to this on Tuesday.
Yes.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Tuesday. And if Gary is in Las Vegas or going someplace, we're on the East Coast time.
Okay.
You can do these announcements, not me. It's not written or anything. I'm trying to remember all these things. I'm old.
Yikes. I mean, I just thought you would have known now. We're on episode 41.
You just got rolled. You just got rolled. So next, what is next Thursday? What's the date? Oh man,
Jesus,
we
you expect
all
me to know
these hard
everything?
Questions. You're like, I don't even know what day it is today.
I don't even know. I think it's the
Hold on, I'll look it up.
13th.
You sure? Yeah, I better look.
I think it's the 13th because, no, it's the 14th. It's the 14th. It's the 14th because Saturday is the 16th.
I love how exact. No.
It's
Yes.
the 14th. See?
The 14th.
I was right. The second time. I was right the second time.
So the 14th, you want to be here on the Goofy Geek because I am going to be eating. We are going to put the camera not on the road. You're going to be in the house. You're going to be like right here or right over here. So you can.
Close and personal.
So we're getting really close so you can watch that I actually eat this stuff. Just for the record, there will be a bucket in case I can't keep this down because some of these things I can't even talk about because like I like read them to the boss and she's like, "Are you kidding me? You can't even." I'm like, "I can't even eat regular food like this guy." So hopefully it'll be fun. If not, I'm sorry, Gary. They're gonna have to hear me go.
So trigger warning.
It's a trigger warning
For those people who get triggered by dad sounds and throwing up.
I'm really going to be a champ about this. My goal is to really not get sick. I'm gonna.
Yeah, please don't, because then I'll throw up.
The whole podcast is that's us talking.
Right.
All right, that's it for us tonight. And again, I would suggest to watch Soul. I like to thank the Goofy Geek Boutique for our cups and to sponsor us. I know I already said it, but I'm going to repeat myself anyway. Make sure you are here on the Goofy Geek on Thursdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and on Tuesdays on YouTube.
Like, subscribe. You sound like you're forgetting.
I know, because I stopped because I expect you to jump in, and every time you look at me like, oh, that's my line, isn't it?
Well, it just sounds like you're gonna say it and then you stop.
It's not. You're supposed to jump right in.
I think it's our thing.
No, you know what that thing is? This. You just laugh.
Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and leave.
Make sure you like
Hit
and
that
subscribe. Please like and subscribe. That does help us a lot. Please. Oh, yeah, watch the videos. That'd be nice, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Why'd you have to leave on that note?
Come. I'm not a elf. I'm not a goblin. I'm a gnome. And you've been gnomed.
You've been gnomed.
On that note, see you
I'm
later.
about that height. That's why. We're out. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.